We spoke at NAMM early on this year about the products that we make. I know you've used some of our gear in the past, and I told you about the 1028s that we had. And you've been doing the Aerosmith record, and we dropped some gear off at Swing House. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about how we found them.
Oh boy. First of all, you have to tell me, I keep forgetting, what does BAE stand for?
It is now officially British Audio Engineering. We did a redesign of a lot of the circuits, which one of them is the 1028. It was essentially 1073, but we added a bunch of new frequencies in the mid-range and on the high end.
Well, I thought it was best audio ever.
You're too kind, Jack.
No, really. It's just, we recorded the album on a Frankenstein, mostly up in Boston, and we had 24 inputs of Neve, though that was 3340.
It was the Class AB early 80s ones.
Yeah,
something like that.
but still sweet sounding. And
like Carrot, PQ 1061s, that kind of thing.
and then coming to Los Angeles, I knew we were going to miss the sound, and we had a lack of, I think we had one real 1073 in the room. And so that wasn't going to be enough. And so when you came along, you really saved us, because we were able to get that vocal sound, we were able to get that guitar sound that's so classically English and so classically, rock. I mean, that is a sound that goes all the way back, as far as I can remember, the records that I like to listen to.
Right.
And if there was anything I ever wanted to emulate all through my career, it's been that sound. And and they're not always the easiest thing to get your hands on. I mean, that's why I liked going to London to record, but it wasn't always easy in the States. And so you really kind of you're made a tremendous contribution to the record.
Wow.
And allowing us to use that stuff, and every time we would hook up a guitar, and even the 312As, which are the more like an API kind of sound, had that crystal clear sound that we used mostly on the rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we would be using the 1073s or even the 1028s on guitars, for a little extra EQ.
Right.
And then we would have that nice API, air coming off of the room. So, I know it's right when I see a smile on Joe Perry or Brad Whitford's face.
Right.
If they're satisfied, then I'm more than satisfied. Man, I was really happy to have this stuff in the room. Plus, it looks so damn pretty. It looks like a serious studio when you see that gear in the room.
Unfortunately, we didn't have the compressors ready, but like I say, you tried the 312s, tried the 1028s, and they are polar opposites of each other. But for the whole record, for example, whatever the application was, you find a use for it, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, actually now I recall we also used, when we did some additional stuff with Tom, we used the 312s on the bass.
Mm-hmm.
We've always liked APIs on bass DIs in particular, super fast. It's just something about an API, a 312 sound where, the transients just seem to translate so much quicker. Amazing on drums, but great when you're dealing with an instrument that doesn't necessarily have that much top end. It's nice to have a little bit extra, bite that a 312 can give. A pair of 1028s that you gave us was pretty much Joe's, main guitar sound, with the 312s being on the rooms. The great thing about being in Swing House is it's a pretty big live room.
Right.
So we're able to split up Joe's amps all over the place. We had one amp in an overdub room with the door open, bleeding into the live room. And then we'd set 1, 2, or possibly even 3 amps up at times in the live room with all of the room mic'd. So we had a lot of fun. We're not afraid to print a lot of sounds. As long as everything's in phase and all the speakers are moving together at once, you get a huge guitar sound.
Wow.
And, so we had a lot of fun.
Well, I have been fortunate enough to hear a few snippets, and can't wait for the record, and just thanks, guys, for checking it out.
Oh,
Thanks.
that's great. And Warren has got a beautiful Neve 48, and nothing complements the range of that microphone like a 1073.
Right.
So it was really, the vocal sound is just gorgeous.
Brilliant.
1073, I think I've told you before, has been on, for the vocal, has been on everything I've recorded for several years now. I mean, that really is, the sound of your 1073 that's the vocal sound of the record, and yeah, it's a wonderful piece of equipment.